Right.
As you might be aware, Overwatch 2 launched a few days ago, and the only game that you're able to play is the waiting game. Because for the past 3 days, I've been waiting to log in to this game to no avail. Well, that's not completely true. I did manage to get into the game once, very late at night, into the wee hours of the morning, when I assumed that crowds were lower, or they just gave up and went to sleep. I went into a quick match, free-for-all, and I got a few games in. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to capture any footage. I was just happy to get into play. But I will say that I did okay after having not played Overwatch in about 2 years. But it just felt a little different. Understandably, they had changed some things around, as Blizzard usually does with this game. But maybe I'm just not feeling this game, or maybe I'm just bored with the game altogether as it is. I mean, like, it's still Overwatch, just with an expansion. There is no reason to even call it Overwatch 2 when it's still so similar. But it is what it is. New characters added, new maps added, and a new menu system. And oh boy, this menu system is horrid. Why did they have to change the menus? It's a completely jumbled mess. What was a simple interface in Overwatch 1 is now set aside in favor of the free-to-play aspect that the game is going for now. I guess I'll get used to it, but it's really confusing. But before I could figure out these menus, I was disconnected from the game altogether and set back into the queue. I played Overwatch 2 for all of 20 minutes. And I guess this is the quality you can expect from a free game? Blizzard says that they're experiencing a DOS attack on their servers, but I doubt it. With the declining numbers in Overwatch 1, I don't think they expected a resurgence of players again. At least players that wanted to check it out to see what's new. And probably why they went free to play in the first place. It isn't really a sequel, so they can't charge people money for it. And as an expansion, it would have been a free update on Overwatch 1 anyway. So I guess to make some kind of money again, since they can't use loot boxes anymore, they deleted and wrote over everyone's Overwatch, and added a 2 next to it. It's a good way to get new players involved, while not alienating the old players. Kind of. I really think they should have left Overwatch 1 alone, and started Overwatch 2 as its own separate game, with its own separate servers. That way you'd have the original game for the OG players, and build off of that with the next game with new players that got it for free. Sure, this gives a resurgence to the Overwatch community, but we'd like to actually play the game that we paid for. The new people didn't have to pay anything, we did. And now we can't even play the original Overwatch because of their server issues. DOS attack or not, with all the money that these businesses are making, they could have had 2 servers going that alleviated the congestion. One for the original Overwatch, and another for Overwatch 2. If you call it a sequel, make it a separate game altogether. But I guess since there really isn't enough content in Part 2, they really can't do that. I mean, this isn't a new concept. Warzone, made by Activision, Blizzard's parent company as well, is making Warzone 2, and it'll be its own game and not mixing with the first Warzone, so it is possible. I dared not go into a ranking match or even a quick play match, since the disconnects are still very frequent. It'll disconnect you even from the menus. There isn't much point in playing Overwatch 2 at this point in time until the server issues are sorted out, but from what I can briefly tell, the game is still the same old Overwatch, just with more content and a new lousy menu system. Take that as you will. It's free for newcomers, so you aren't losing much by trying it out, except for your time, but for original Overwatch players, Blizzard really shit the bed. Anyway, till next time.